Hey fans, we know everyone loves true crime stories, and we're here with some nail-biting stories of NFL players who were robbed. Before we dive into these cautionary tales, can we ask you a favor? Please subscribe to our channel and be sure to enable notifications so you don't miss a single one of our awesome videos. All done? Awesome. Let's get started. Rob Gronkowski. In 2018, the Patriots lost the Super Bowl to the Eagles, but for tight end Rob Gronkowski, that was just the beginning of the day's losses. When he returned home the next day, he and his housemates discovered broken windows and missing valuables, an Apple Watch, a Rolex, 2 rare coins, and multiple firearms. Thankfully, Gronk's bedroom was locked, but he and his housemates were immediately alarmed and upset. Gronk called 911 to report the robbery, saying,
"911 line decoded, where is your emergency?" Hello, this isn't an emergency. This is Rob Gronkowski calling, and while I was gone, my whole house got robbed while on the Super Bowl trip, and I just got back.
Suspect Shane Den had the nerve to wear a Patriots shirt to his court hearing. Another suspect, Eric Tyrell, was accused of selling 2 19th century coins from the home. The two allegedly partnered with Anthony Almeida to target the house. Thankfully, some of the items were recovered. Gronk's housemates realized that they had likely forgotten to set the house alarm, and robbers ended up breaking in and swiping the valuables. Gronk's brother Chris told TMZ he has the whole system. He has everything going, and it came down to roommates that lived with him at the time didn't set the alarm. It's just crazy what happened. Time for some new roommates. Thankfully, the next year went better for Gronk. The Patriots defeated the Rams at the Super Bowl, and this time, no home robbery. Ray Armstrong and Reuben Foster. On April 16, 2017, at about 2 a.m., 49ers Ray Armstrong and Reuben Foster were robbed at gunpoint in 2017 after returning home from a loss in Washington. They had been partying at a club called Love and Propaganda, but Foster got suspicious when he saw a white Audi with tinted windows cruising back and forth past the club. Foster had a suspicion that people in the Audi were up to no good, so he gave his watch and rings to a friend and asked her to keep them safe. When Foster and Armstrong left, they asked for a security escort while leaving, but several masked, armed men approached them and demanded their money and valuables. Per the police report, the two friends turned and, quote, ran like hell. Thankfully, they got away, and the would-be robbers apparently decided it wasn't worth the trouble, or that they couldn't outrun 2 NFL players. Foster later told the media, "I am blessed to be safe. I don't want to get in no detail. I'm just happy me and Ray and the rest of the people are safe. It was a scary moment for my family and for the organization. I'm truly sorry to whomever was concerned and the organization itself and the fans that I concerned them. You live and you learn. Just watch your surroundings." Tom Brady. At Super Bowl 51, the Patriots landed a 34-28 victory over the Atlanta Falcons, and Tom Brady's good mood quickly took a downturn when he realized that his jersey had been stolen from his locker. "It's unfortunate because that's a nice piece of memorabilia," Brady said to reporters the next day. "If it shows up on eBay or something, somebody let me know." Meanwhile, detectives attempted to track down the missing jersey, but were coming up empty-handed. It ended up being an amateur sleuth who saved the day. Dylan Wagner, then 19 years old, was a sports memorabilia collector who had been doing business with journalist Martin Mauricio Ortega, the director of the Diario La Prensa newspaper. Ortega sent Wagner a picture of his collection, and Wagner noticed that Brady's Super Bowl 49 jersey was front and center. Wagner remembered that Brady had been missing 2 jerseys from different Super Bowls. He contacted the police, and they were able to track down Ortega and the stolen items. Ortega had used his press pass to sneak into the locker room and swipe the jerseys. Video footage showed him reaching into Brady's locker and stuffing the jersey into a bag. The investigation ended up uncovering both missing jerseys as well as a Denver Broncos helmet belonging to Von Miller from Super Bowl 50. Brady told the media, "I am happy my jerseys from Super Bowl 49 and 51 have been recovered, and I want to thank all of the law enforcement agencies involved. I know they worked hard on this case, and it is very much appreciated. Hopefully, when I get the jerseys back, I can make something very positive come from this experience." The Patriots rewarded Wagner in a big way, giving him a football signed by Tom Brady, a signed Brady jersey, a pair of new Air Force Ones, and a pair of front row tickets to the NFL opener. It pays to be honest. Antonio Brown. On April 23, 2018, after returning from an 11-day vacation, Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown called police and claimed that $80,000 cash and a gun had been stolen from his Miami residence. Police questioned the cleaning crew, but got nowhere. The next day, police returned to Brown's apartment after neighbors called to say that Brown had some sort of tantrum and was throwing furniture off his balcony. That wasn't the end of it, though. On April 25th, the police returned yet again after Brown called to report his Rolls Royce missing. When they got there, he simply said, "I found it." Unfortunately, Brown's furniture throwing got him in more trouble than the missing valuables, which were never recovered. He nearly struck a 22-month-old child with the furniture, and the boy's father sued him for assault and emotional distress. In January 2020, Brown ended up being arrested himself for charges of burglary with battery after he allegedly attacked a moving truck driver and removed property that hadn't been paid for from the truck. Between this and the sexual assault allegations against Brown that got him cut from the Patriots, just yikes all around. Terrance West. On February 27, 2017, West was staying at the Metropole South Beach Hotel in Miami Beach when two women struck up a conversation with him. After they parted ways, the women approached the front desk clerk and asked for keys to West's room. The clerk handed them over, apparently believing them to be friends of West. So when West returned to his room later, he found his two Rolex watches, worth more than $50,000, missing. He called police to report the theft, and just an hour later, a knock came at the door, and it wasn't a detective, it was a robber who appeared to be armed, and he threatened to kill West if he didn't hand over some cash. West lost $5,000 and a pair of Christian Louboutin shoes in the robbery. Needless to say, West was upset and furious. He sued the hotel for their role in allegedly enabling the thieves to attack and rob him. The hotel ended up settling with West's lawyers in a confidential deal. Shaun Rogers. In yet another Miami Beach incident, Giants defensive tackle Shaun Rogers was staying at the Fontainebleau and decided to bring a woman back to his room from Club Live. When he woke up groggily the next day at noon, the woman and a safe full of his valuables were gone. Rogers called police to report $500,000 worth of missing jewelry, including 2 watches, diamond earrings, a gold necklace, gold bracelets, and a diamond necklace with a gold pendant. The woman, later identified as Subhana Bea, was wanted for multiple larcenies in Florida and ended up being arrested in New York. The Broward County Sheriff's Office identified Bea as one of 4 women who picked up men at upscale bars and restaurants and drugged them to steal their valuables. Unfortunately, the charges against Bea were dropped after prosecutors found Rogers to be uncooperative in the investigation. Just goes to show you've got to be careful about who you bring home these days. Le'Veon Bell. On March 25, 2019, Jets running back Le'Veon Bell had 2 girlfriends over for a fun night at his residence in South Florida. The next morning, he got up to do his regular early morning workout and came back to discover that the women left with more than $500,000 worth of items, including 2 gold chains with diamonds, a diamond Black Panther pendant, and a Rolex watch. Bell told authorities, "I don't know where the girls are at. I tried to call them before I called you guys. I tried to call them and they're not answering me and they're ignoring me. Man, it sucks to be ghosted, but especially when your squeeze robs you first." Luckily, Bell has his valuables insured and ended up going on a $300,000 shopping spree, so it all worked out in the end. Earl Wolff. Buckle up for this scary story of how Earl Wolff was abducted by masked robbers. On February 25th, 2016, Wolff and a friend were walking near a friend's house in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Masked robbers armed with AK-47s abducted the 2 men. When they learned that Wolff was in the NFL, they drove him to an ATM machine and demanded that he withdraw $10,000. Thankfully, Wolff had only $400 in his account, per his financial advisor's recommendation. The robber refused to believe him until Wolff opened his Wells Fargo app to show the low balance. Wolff wrote a personal account of his harrowing experience in Sports Illustrated, saying, "When I went to my car, I checked my surroundings. Everything seemed fine, and yet here I am, kidnapped after an innocent night at my friend's house. We're still driving, my heart is racing, my head's spinning, and all I'm thinking is, why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? He goes on to say that the robbers forced him to go to his friend's house, but his friend managed to escape into the house, leaving Wolff behind. The captors forced Wolff back into the car and zip-tied his ankles and wrists. Wolff recalls his fear, saying, "I try to keep my faith. I try to think of my mom. I am numb, but she is all I have left." The captors eventually dumped Wolff out of the car and he stumbled upon a trailer park, legs still zipped together, but his night was about to get even worse. He had yet another gun pointed at him by residents of the trailer park. After they fired at him, Wolff managed to escape and get to a gas station where he attempted to flag down cars, but no one stopped to help. Finally, a woman drove up and Wolff's nightmarish night was finally almost over. Later, a man named Bobby Deshaun Bailey was arrested for the attack, but the other men were never caught. Wolff reflected on the incident in the Sports Illustrated piece, saying, "At first, the police thought my friend had set me up, but that never crossed my mind. There's a chance someone might have had a petty beef with my friend, or the kidnappers may have simply been attracted to my car. I don't think I was targeted because I'm in the NFL. Wrong place, wrong time. It can happen to anyone." Wolff concluded the powerful essay by writing, "I am so blessed that I have a chance to compete. I am so blessed to be alive. This is my story, but it is far from over. I can't wait for my mom to watch me play football again." We're glad you're okay, Earl. That wraps up our list of robberies made against NFL players, and we're feeling a little nervous about walking to our cars tonight. Remember, folks, stay safe and lock up your valuables. Which story did you find the craziest? Let us know in the comments. Hey, and don't forget to like and share this video and be sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got more great content headed your way. Till next time, have an awesome day.